Alrighty then, this morning we're going to discuss this GQ-75 I don't know what you'd call this thing, router, auger, pipe auger, whatever. I bought this because I got sick and tired of paying plumbers $300 every couple of years to come here and argue with me about what is wrong with my drains and what needs to be done and how to clean out my drains. They seem to ignore the fact that I've lived here, lived at my house, and I know what needs to be done and what works and what doesn't. But anyways, this thing cost less than $300 shipped. It's not a professional device, it's not a robust device, but for something I'm going to use once every 2 or 3 years, I think it would work fine. Right now you're seeing it after the way I received it. This is what it's supposed to look like, and this is what it looked like when I received it. This is the box, and this is what the inside of the box looked like, and some of the various parts. And this is what I imagine happened to arrive this way.
We're going downtown.
So, let's look at the shipping damage that occurred. Number one, the fan cover was banged to hell. Oh, and to be fair, I fully expected this thing to arrive either the packaging completely damaged or some part of it damaged, but really didn't expect it to be in this bad a shape. So you can see this piece actually broke off from the motor, and we have some banged up stuff here. This is what the intact base looks like. Yes, the seller did send me out replacement parts. The clutch was broken internally. See? As I said, the fan cover was dented to hell, and a piece was broken off the base. You can see where that piece is missing. And since we've got this open, you can see that the fan is this really cheap plastic rubbery fan. And also, since we've got this open, you can see inside here See if I can zoom in there. And you'll notice that that main gear in there is plastic with an actual metal pinion gear, so I can see that shattering sometime in the future. In the original pictures, it showed that there were Zerk fittings in here. Mine did not arrive with the Zerk fittings, so I'll have to get some of those. It's supposed to arrive with some attachments. It seems I've got 4 of the 5 attachments. I'll have to look through the box carefully. May still have it. If not, I'm probably not going to make a big deal out of it because I've already had them replace. You know, I was shocked that they replaced any part of this. It came with 65 feet of this spring stuff, whatever it's called, and then it comes with this entire drum of the smaller stuff. Oh, by the way, this was jammed down in here. That's why this one piece right here is a little bent. This was just jammed in there, and then the back side was dented. This thing uses a DC motor so that it can be reversed, and it has this really crappy, tiny, barely adequate, supposedly 18 gauge 3-conductor plug. I'm going to be replacing that with something more heavy duty. So one of the first things I'm going to have to do is replace the base here, and when I do that, we'll get a look at what this thing looks like inside. And the motor, I'm hoping that the inside of the motor wasn't damaged. And this piece just comes right off. Okay. Oh, good. I thought these were going to be really long screws that stretched the whole length, but they're not. Let's see if I can get this off. You can see a lot of the fins have been damaged on this. Let's see. Oh, and this thing is made out of cast iron and cast aluminum. Well, I'm gonna have to come back on this. Okay, so I managed to get this busted one off, and this is what it looks like in there. Let's see, I need to blow this out. Since I got it open. And it's probably not a big deal, but I prefer those pieces of plastic weren't rubbing on that. So it's nice to see that there's a ball bearing in there. Tappy tap tap. We're going to make this a little bit easier to put on here. I'm going to pause the video, and probably not going to be able to do this on camera. I'm going to heat this up with a heat gun to make it expand. Also, I got to clean this out. It's full of crap. But with this thing heated up, it should go on a lot easier, and then it'll just shrink down to fit. And won't get as much galling from trying to smash it on. So, back in a little bit. Well, that worked like a charm. This thing went right on there when I heated it up. I mean, I knew that would work, but I was really surprised at just how easily it went on. So I'm going to give that a minute or two to cool down, and I'm going to run into the house and pick up a replacement power cord, because I'm going to replace that while I'm at it, and we'll get this thing back together. And I mean, I've already run it, but I won't be able to really test it. Because I had to wait so long to get the replacement parts, I still ended up having to, I got it because originally I had a clogged, a slow line, but in the time it took me to get the parts ordered, I still ended up having to call out a plumber who charged me about $300 to clear the line. So Be back. Okay, so I'm back. Got this cord. This one is 16 AWG and this one is 18. We're gonna see if this really is 18 when we open it up. I don't believe it, and even if it is, I have a feeling it's gonna be small on the inside. I've seen some of these where I've opened them up and the actual conductor is about half of what it claimed to be. Okay, so what do we got in here? We have a capacitor. It's either a motor start or motor run. It has no markings on it whatsoever. In fact, they've been scratched out. So why would we want to help anyone? Let's see if I can get this off. Oh, screwed on. Come on, that must be one hell of a long screw. Yep, way longer than it needed to be. Alright, so as you can see, here's the white, the black, and I don't believe for a minute that that is 18 AWG, but let's see here. Where's on my completely cluttered bench? Let's cut this one and this one. And looks like they've got one going under here. That's one way of doing it, I guess. Yeah. So all they did was take this wire, bare it, and stick it between the plastic of this switch and the metal of here to make a ground. That's some mighty fine engineering there. So let's see what this thing actually measures out. Well, it really does measure to 18. That's surprising. But still, I'd rather have a little more amperage capacity on that. And see here. Run this through. Be right back. Alrighty, so one of the things I looked into is I looked at this more closely, and they weren't paying Mulan enough money to completely wipe out what this is. It is a CBB, Charlie Baker Baker 60. Best I can tell, that's an 80 UF 80 microfarad motor run capacitor rated at 250 volts. So try harder next time. So let's wire this thing up. I guess I'll let that go now for this. This, don't particularly like that. Let's see what we've got. Too big, way too big. Let's use that. Let's see here. Not the most ideal situation, but whatever these are, they're not magnetic. All right. Oh. Wow. Just wow. Yeah, free. All right. Okay. You know, while I got this open, might as well check. All these connections. Yeah, someone with the grip of an infant tightened that. And that. And that. Wow. Honestly. That's better. It looks to me like this entire thing was held in just by the cover or by the switch. Ow. Yeah, there's really nothing holding that on. Let's see if we can improve this a little bit. Well, all right. Okay, so probably can't see it. Let's see, zoom in. No, can't see it. Yeah, you can't see it, but I can. And now when I close it, I see all three jaws, whereas before it only had, when I got it, it only showed two. So alright, let's see if this thing works. She shakes like an old chihuahua, but she works. There it is. One nice thing about this is, since it's broke, I actually have, if any of these other ones break, I now have parts. I have some spare parts, because I know that these things probably will disappear after a few years. Apparently they use the same fittings as the professional ones, so any fitting that you can buy at Home Depot or whatever should work. I think that's about it. Till the next one.